Since Johanna Rytting Kaneryd's departure was officially confirmed, many people have treated it as just another high-profile transfer in European women's football. But there is a much deeper story behind this move. When a player who became a key figure at one of England's most dominant clubs decides to begin a new chapter with one of its biggest continental rivals, it is rarely just about changing jerseys. This transfer may reveal important shifts in the way Europe's elite clubs are planning for the future, and that's exactly what we're going to analyze. Because before understanding what Lyon is gaining with this signing, it's essential to understand why Kaneryd's departure represents far more than simply the end of a successful chapter at Chelsea. Johanna Rytting Kaneryd's time at Chelsea cannot be measured solely by the trophies she won or the statistics she produced over 4 seasons. Her development represented an important transformation within the team itself. Arriving from Sweden, she joined an already highly competitive squad but quickly earned her place through qualities that do not always appear on the scoresheet: relentless intensity, the courage to take defenders on in one-on-one situations, and the ability to change the tempo of a match. Those qualities gradually became part of Chelsea's identity in recent years. While many teams focused on patient possession and structured attacking play, Kaneryd consistently offered a different solution through explosive pace down the flanks. Her presence forced opposing defenses to adjust their shape, often creating valuable space for teammates in attacking areas. In other words, her influence extended well beyond goals and assists. That is why her departure creates a significant strategic challenge for Chelsea. Replacing her is not simply about finding another talented winger, but about identifying someone capable of reproducing a very specific combination of technical ability and tactical impact. For a club competing for every major trophy, losing a player with those characteristics can alter offensive dynamics that have been built over several seasons, requiring adjustments that rarely happen overnight. At the same time, this transfer also reflects a broader trend within the European market. More than ever, elite clubs are competing not only for championships but also for players capable of redefining the balance of power among the continent's leading contenders. And that is exactly where Lyon's move becomes more than a major signing. It begins to reveal a much broader strategy that could directly influence the battle for supremacy in European women's football. Choosing Lyon is unlikely to be viewed as simply a change of scenery or league. The French club is going through a period of competitive rebuilding, aiming to reclaim the dominant European status it once held before other elite teams gradually closed the gap. Within that context, signing a player already accustomed to competing for major trophies is a decision that combines technical quality with invaluable experience in high-pressure matches. Kaneryd arrives offering exactly the type of weapon Lyon has been looking to strengthen: width, attacking depth, and the ability to accelerate transitions without sacrificing effectiveness in individual duels. At the highest level of the UEFA Women's Champions League, tightly contested matches are often decided by players capable of breaking defensive lines in a matter of seconds. That ability became one of Kaneryd's defining traits during her time at Chelsea. There is also a symbolic dimension to this transfer. In recent years, direct moves between clubs competing for the same European ambitions have become increasingly common. That reflects a more competitive market, where strengthening your own squad also means weakening one of your direct rivals. As a result, the significance of this deal extends far beyond the sporting aspect and becomes part of the broader strategic battle among Europe's biggest clubs. If she adapts quickly, Lyon could gain a player capable of offering new attacking solutions precisely when European knockout matches demand creativity, pace, and individual brilliance. Meanwhile, Chelsea will now have to prove that its collective strength is enough to absorb the loss of a player whose importance may have been greater than many initially realized. But the true impact of this transfer may only become clear in the months ahead, when Chelsea and Lyon begin to show on the pitch which club truly emerged stronger from one of the most strategic moves of this transfer window. Football has a way of showing that some transfers reveal their true significance only when the season begins to test every major project. Johanna Rytting Kaneryd's move fits that profile perfectly. Chelsea enters a new chapter without a player who consistently brought unpredictability and attacking dynamism, while Lyon places its faith in someone who has repeatedly performed under the pressure of winning the biggest matches. This move also reinforces one of the clearest trends in modern European women's football: top clubs are no longer searching only for established stars, but for players who perfectly fit highly specific tactical systems. The difference between winning and losing a UEFA Women's Champions League title may ultimately come down to a single player capable of offering something different when matches become evenly balanced. That is precisely why Kaneryd's arrival carries such strategic importance. For Chelsea, the challenge will be proving that its collective structure remains strong enough to compensate for the departure of an influential player without sacrificing its competitive identity. For Lyon, the responsibility now lies in turning this investment into immediate results, strengthening the belief that the club can once again become Europe's dominant force. Success will depend less on the excitement surrounding the transfer itself and more on how quickly Kaneryd adapts to her new tactical environment. Ultimately, this is not simply the story of a player changing clubs. It is a reflection of how European women's football is becoming increasingly competitive, strategic, and unpredictable. Whether this transfer marks the beginning of a new era for Lyon or simply another challenge successfully overcome by Chelsea will only be answered as the season unfolds. One thing, however, is already certain: this move has the potential to shape the race for Europe's biggest trophies.